There ain't no telling where they'll go, and it's nothing short of a propos. Well, they're out there fighting when they should be writing. Settle up for Adventure Brodeo.
Welcome to this month's Scare Brodeo.
The summer spooky Brodeo.
It's
Wait for Halloween.
Everyone's favorite part.
Oh yeah, that tradition we just made up.
The terrifying, terrifying tradition. Well, here, I guess I will take away our screen thing. So, welcome to Adventure Brodeo, where there are terrible things that are waiting in store, such as so many shills galore. Because we got some shit to plug. Let me put it this way, it's not a coincidence that I picked a comedy fantasy or a comedy horror game.
Yes. It's not just because it's summer, the reason we're picking this highly autumnal spooky game. Because, well, you know, people who had the decency to be at A&D Con 2021 over the weekend will already know this. But, some of you may not. But we had a special announcement while we were at the convention. One of those mystery projects I was squirreling away. And that is, we are teaming up with Steve Wazinski to try and fund a Shingles movie.
Shingles is in that ridiculously popular book series from the Authors and Dragons crew.
Yeah, popular is a strange word. Yeah. What is there an equivalent of infamous but for popular?
Beloved?
Beloved? Yeah. Excellent. Wonderful. Grotesque. The
Horrifying.
Shingles series. Yeah, horrifying. Yeah, so there's going to be some footage relating to that going up on the web later. But for now, you can find our not a trailer because it's not footage of the movie, but it's a kind of a conceptual trailer. It should tell you kind of what we're all about, and that will give you the link to the Indiegogo, where I believe we have already raised somewhere in the vicinity of about 10% of what we need, about $5,800. So a great start for what is surely going to be a great project. But yeah, if you have ever wanted to, you thought, you know, Shingles, this needs to be even more out in the world because there is not enough strange, grotesque misery in the universe. And we got you covered. If we can get this funded, there's going to be a Shingles movie.
Yeah, that is a crazy thing to say out loud.
Yeah, Shingles the movie is something we'd probably say when we were joking, ordinarily. It'd be something a phrase we'd use to scare people. But no, not this time. I mean, we still want to scare people, obviously, but we want the threat to be real.
We want the terror to run deep.
Yeah, no more empty threats. Shingles the movie. Make it happen.
Well, we will certainly talk, I think, a little bit more about that and some of the perks and stuff that we're gonna, go into as we go through the stream. But we also, I think, need to touch on A&D Con and how it went and the fun. So we already had some questions. Sarah asks how we're feeling from the convention. I have been sleeping like a bear. Like, I have just been exhausted and, sleeping in until like 4:30 a.m. some days.
We'll put it this way, I was a little bit late onto Brodeo because I had only just woke up from a nap I did not intend to take.
Oh god, those are good naps though.
The best naps, yeah, but never convenient. Always rewarding, never convenient.
It's like, oh, I feel very refreshed, but oh boy, has my day's schedule been destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wild weekend. Absolutely worth it in every respect, but I am taking a toll.
I guess I'll go ahead and ask the question that I think some folks are going to probably bring up on the stream at some point. How is the jet engine?
Did you hear that? Sorry. I'm not in familiar surroundings. And something else I should probably talk about.
Yeah, I was gonna let you bring up so folks who missed the earlier streams. Steve, in his dedication to Authors and Dragons Con, went to the trouble of going to another country for an entire 2 weeks before A&D Con, so that he would be able to come to A&D Con due to certain travel restrictions, and. Yeah, and so...
All nice and legal. All government advised. This is the way you do it to beat the COVID restrictions. But then they changed their mind on the last day I was there. And because I couldn't really afford to sort of bring my flights forward, I now have to stay in America for 10 days. Otherwise, when I go home, they will lock me away in quarantine. A bit of an unexpected holiday, or working holiday, really. I'm fortunate I can work remotely. I've checked with work in the UK. I'm not skiving off. I'm still working. Yeah, a bit of an upset to the plans. Hence, yeah, I mean, unfamiliar conditions. That was an air conditioning unit, something I'm not really that familiar with in a domestic setting. So.
Oh, that's right. I always forget you tell me you guys just don't have air conditioning as prevalently.
No, not really. So it does mean like maybe for about a couple of weeks of the year it's pretty miserable, but then again, for the rest of the time you just simply do not need air conditioning in the UK. I don't think I've ever met anybody in the UK with an air conditioning unit in their home, not a built-in one anyway. So yeah, that one snuck up on me there.
Oh
Yeah.
Wow, that ogre just got straight up murdered.
Yeah, that was a bit of a bait and switch there.
Oh boy. Am I gonna get a quick time event against that giant energy death ball that seems designed to murder me?
Or does it just cut to after your murder? It seems that you did not dodge this attack.
Well, I mean, I was a skeleton already, so, presumably something before that.
Perhaps. Oh no, were you this child? Was this a child skeleton this whole time?
It's starting to seem like we're hinting at it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, that's quite shingles worthy, I guess. It was a poor redneck child with a meth addiction. That's right up our alley.
Oh, did you try to watch the final moments of the boy? It seems like you're a pretty powerful witch. Maybe you could have just saved him?
Yeah. But then it wouldn't be a good story, Drew.
I did all I could. I let you die. And then brought your skeleton back.
I saved your bones. What more do you want? Been great. Oh yes, so I am fine. Everything is fine. For those of you who are asking, thank you for asking. It's nice to be cared about. You're all lovely. I'm okay. I've got my way back home. It isn't costing me much extra money or anything, so everything's cool.
There we go. Turn the sound up a little bit. I was having trouble hearing it, so I assume other folks were as well. Alright, how do I kill that rat? Blammo! Well, seems you win this round, Mr. Rat. So, yeah, I believe a lot of the content from A&D Con will be slowly kind of trickling out as we get it uploaded. I know we've got a few things kind of prepped, but a lot of content, a lot of gigs.
We have the main game recording has gone out today, and the YouTube version of that should have already uploaded, so you can see that in its full, mostly unedited glory. I'm not sure what the release schedule is, but I think we have a live Salty Bastards to put out there.
Yeah, I think those will kind of come out when their normal scheduled events would. So, you know, the folks who were there early got... Boy, it seems like one of these is a lot deadlier than the other.
Yeah.
But
one of them looks quite pleasant.
But, like... It's like a store or something?
Well, nope. I don't know what the skeleton kind of thinks is. It's good. Did you just throw your head at that?
Oh god! Didn't realize what that did. Oh! You have a gun? Alright, that is kind of cool.
That is pretty cool, yeah. I mean, disturbing, but it's pretty cool.
Alright, I am enjoying that part. Oh man, so, oh my god, that worked! Yes, give me treasure!
I think you deserve treasure after that.
I really do. Apparently the game does not agree. Being a real jerk about it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Laser bird.
Oh boy! Oh no! Oh, this is a bad plan. The guy who's going to get married after this was a good touch. Nope, they saw me coming. I forget he can turn around.
That's not fair.
Alright, starting to get a hang of these controls. These are pretty fun.
This looks like a cool game. Can you just destroy everything?
Oh god! Yeah! Take that!
I was not worried at all.
Well, that makes one of us.
Total confidence in your handling of the situation against that bomb behemoth.
Apparently I have not finished out the map.
Oh, do you have to kind of find something? Do you just have to murder everyone before you can go on? Is that the...
Seems like that might be the trick to it. Let's find out now. No, that is not the trick to it. Alright, we're gonna keep exploring. Oh.
I did everyone. What more do you want? Ah, there we go. Ooh, a little bit of level up. At least I am. Nice.
I will take the treasure room, yes, thank you.
What is that your ammunition?
Alright, I guess I'm giving him vitality.
Ooh, we have a convention-related question in the chat from Serigman X. Hey Drew, I know it might be quite some time before everything is cleared for the next convention, but where would you personally like it to be? Steve, that'd be you.
Sorry, that one's just funny because historically I am known for my love of Las Vegas. And, oh god, what the? What, did I just summon a bunch of these people? Oh god.
That's true. Well, Vegas was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my answer is almost always Las Vegas. I just love that town. Oh boy, that's hard. Oh, sorry. This fight got suddenly hard right as that question came up. Steve, why don't you give your answer first while I am trying not to die?
No, I want to see you suffer. You keep both. Well, I really like Vegas. I really like, there's things to consider, like how easy is it for the majority of people to get there. There's practicalities, like there's certain stipulations as a venue. I know that a lot of people kind of wanted all-night gaming places to do so in the convention we just had, and it wasn't really possible, which was fair and fine. But so I guess I don't really consider what's available outside of the convention experience, but we managed to take kind of a trip to a bar outside of Nashville, and I had a great time, full of Americana. I was riding bulls and square dancing and drinking too much beer with people and people in cowboy hats. It was a wonderful experience, so I guess I should kind of like really be using the convention as an excuse for my further cultural enrichment. In which case, as much as I love Vegas, as much as Nashville was absolutely a blast, what little I saw of it, it would have to be somewhere different, I suppose.
I will say, if we were going to say only new places, so we take Vegas out of the equation. Oh, the plant's not my friend. I thought the plant was my friend.
You're a child skeleton. You have no friends.
I would say we could do Joe a solid and hit something in the Pacific Northwest, because I have always I've really enjoyed my cons in Portland and Seattle. So I think those would be really fun and definitely something we hadn't done before.
Yeah, I'd be really interested in traveling like halfway across the world just to end up in somewhere as miserable as England to climb the ice.
I respect the commitment. New Orleans would be fun as well. I mean, that's always a classic. Although we've sort of done that one for like a prior con. But
I wasn't there. I missed that one. I'd be interested in New Orleans, but you're right. It's kind of, we need to cover a lot of ground here. We need to infect as many places as possible.
Yeah. I think Portland would be a fun one. That would be, I think, my non-Vegas pick. But God, it's hard to beat Vegas in terms of availability of everything.
Yeah, it was fun and convenient. You didn't have to work hard to do anything there. But Nashville had a Caney Fork.
Oh yeah, they had some really enjoyable food there.
Yeah, just a restaurant just filled with dead animal decorations. Which is
it
what
truly was.
Yeah. Like, if I don't see a dead animal on the wall, then I don't know how seriously you're taking the menu. So it was reassuring, I thought. Good selection of beer out there.
So Steve, I have a question, sort of more specific to you. If we wanted to do an A&D con in the UK, where would you recommend we have it? Because I'm guessing London would probably be way too expensive.
It would, but the advantage of the UK is It's not that big. So I guess everyone in the UK can get somewhere quite easily. I mean, Manchester to London's a bit of a trek, but it's doable, you know, just staying over. But yeah, London is expensive, and there are lots of cool places in the UK other than London. I always liked York. It was nice, northern England. It's got kind of a walled city up there. Good beer, fun people. I always really liked Bath, but I get the impression that might be a little bit pricey. It's a historic town and it's down south. I would say if you wanted kind of a nice, gentle English cultural experience, skip London and go to Bath. But I don't know. Man, this question's caught me off guard. I'd probably just do it in Corby. Nice and convenient for me.
Corby, does it have an international airport? That actually, look, I don't know how many. So that is one of the things. I guess we can tap on this a little bit since we're talking A&D Con and looking toward the future. We'll often have folks ask, what is the criteria? And so some of the baseline criteria that we have sort of established is one, it needs to be near an international airport. That is both because those are going to have a lot of traffic from various cities that will make it easier for everyone to get in, and obviously one of our members has to fly in from another country. So we want to try and make that, that's just more convenient all around.
That's true.
That needs to have ideally a good amount of lodging that's accessible. It needs to have a city within driving distance of the airport, lodging that is either abundant enough in supply, like Las Vegas, to where anyone can get any level of room that they want, because there's just every option, or the rooms need to be affordable, because we have to just default to the one where the most people can get access.
Yeah, that's true. There's all that to consider. The options go down a bit in the UK when we consider airport proximity.
The airport one is a big limiter, but it is one we absolutely have to keep in mind.
I mean, in the Midlands, Birmingham has an airport that can be accessed from America. I've done it myself. But I don't know. I know they have an NEC centre. They have somewhere that's kind of ideal for larger conventions. But I know surprisingly little about the rest of Birmingham, seeing as it's about a 40-minute drive from me. York has an airport too, but Leeds airport is very near York. I've not done the research, You've caught me off guard here. I'm going to say York. It's going to end up being either York, Manchester, or London. Manchester's a nice town as well. Again, pricey.
Alright, well, we have now talked about A&D Con for a good bit. So, while I have a feeling that I'm going to have to do some sort of tough fight, you want to go into some of the perks and whatnot for what we're doing for the shingles, because I know we have some interesting tiers.
We do have some interesting tiers, and I should really know what they are off the top of my head, because I made a lot of them up. But
well, you know what? That's perfect, Steve, because I realized as I was saying it that probably before we do that, we should touch on what the Shingles movie will be in terms of, like, anthology, which stories are involved, etc. So that'll buy some time.
Something we really wanted to do is to, rather than just like doing a movie for a Shingles story, was try and combine as many Shingles stories as feasibly possible into one movie. So we've got something like, we've got a wraparound and 3.5 Shingles stories. So basically it'll cover content as such an impersonal word. It will contain characters and situations from The Legend of Jimmy Headshot, Put Your Hand in My Ass, the book Just Say Gnome and Zombies Ate My Homework, definitely. And we have kind of a split tier because we have two versions of the script. One that's, well, they're all expensive because making movies is really expensive. But our mid-tier one will contain Aliens Rex Alkega as the central story, and the maximum tier will contain Slaughter on Giggle Time Mountain. I think Steve Rosinski, the guy we're teaming up with to produce and direct this, should we make all the money, really wants to gun for Slaughter on Giggle Time Mountain. And I can see why, because it's a horror anthology, and if anyone hasn't read Slaughter on Giggle Time Mountain, it might be the closest thing we've got to a conventional slasher in the Shingles canon. And it's got a lot of really cool, not just kills, but killers as well. It's stuffed to the gills with psychopaths, so it's a pretty decent, it's a decent adventure story in its own right. So I think that's what we're gunning for. But then again, having been there in the creation of the script, Aliens Wrecked Arkega is also a really fun conversion as well. So win-win.
Yeah, we're super excited about it. We've got the various game plans, and
yeah, having worked on the script, and there's a lot we can't get into in that at the minute because we don't want to spoil any surprises. And having kind of worked the treatment out with Steve Rosinski, it is exciting. It does kind of work nicely as, hopefully, as an anthology that somebody who has no idea what Shingles is can watch and enjoy, or be disturbed by, or both.
yeah, absolutely. And I can say this because I didn't write the script. The script is really damn good.
Oh, I think so. It's got, some of the stories we've got going on are, obviously we had an eye towards budget, like put your hand in my ass, you just really need a puppet for that, and then to fist that puppet, and you've basically got the basis of the story. Just Say Gnome, as long as you can make a gnome shit cocaine and murder people, there you go, you've got it. Some of the other ones, Legend of Jimmy Headshot, Zombies Ate My Homework, definitely more action, zombie fighting orientated. And again, Slaughter on Giggle Time Mountain is pretty much a complete horror movie in itself.
Yeah, that one was made as a love letter to slashers. The concept, not actual people who slash things.
With my love letter to murderers. So yeah, those are the tiers I think we're at. So at $45,000, no small chunk of change, I understand. We'll get not quite the original script. We'll be swapping out Slaughter on
Giggle Time Mountain.
Slaughter on Giggle Time Mountain. Sorry.
Which everyone has had trouble with.
I must have said that movie about 7 different ways while I've been talking about this project with people.
Yeah, I'm not known for my good naming skills.
It's probably got less to do with your naming skills and more to do with the fact that I've been topping up my social battery with beer all weekend.
Yeah, that's part of the convention experience too.
Yeah. The next tier up for that, or the next amount we're aiming for after that, is a larger chunk of change, $60,000, and that will be the original script as it was intended, Shingles the movie. Mm-hmm. And we have a tier above that as well. It's not kind of built into the Indiegogo, but if we go over what we're aiming for by a significant amount, get to 70,000, that's pretty much a guarantee that Steve Rosinski will recruit a horror icon into the movie making process. Dude's got some contacts, he can get that done, he has the power to do so. Well, he will have the power to do so with 10 grand in his pocket. So that's kind of like the ultimate version of it. It will be a Shingles movie that we will not just release on DVD and Blu-ray for everyone who backs it, and also digital copies, but something we will definitely be approaching streaming services. Wherever we can get the movie shown, we will get the movie shown. Although people back as well would be the first to see it. Speaking of backing us, while I've got your attention, I'd talk through some of the perks you can get. I mean, there's the obvious ones. I mean, you can back us for $20 and that'll get you the digital pack, and we'll send you a digital copy of the movie and a believe. That's it, because we can't really send you anything else digitally. But I might send you some of the poster art and stuff as well. You can use that as a desktop background. I'll probably chuck something in. Up from that is the Shingles the Movie DVD for $35. Our Blu-ray for $40 if you fancy. And then we start getting into the bigger support tiers, and like most Indiegogo tiers, these are kind of built more around just if you want to give extra for the project, because you definitely want to see it happen, like I do, and I know you do deep in your heart. Got Dusty's Deal, which is a DVD copy of the movie, 5 signed postcards featuring Shingles artwork, and each of these postcards signed by a Shingles author. And you also get a named thank you in the credits with that. One up from that is Sloppy Special. For $100 US, you get a DVD copy of the movie, 5 signed postcards, a Shingles movie poster that's signed by Steve Wazinski, a Blu-ray copy of the movie, and a named thank you in the credits.
We've also got some interesting things. Like, of course, we have the walk-on in the movie role. I found it hilarious that someone bought what I considered one of the strangest perks in our or any other Kickstarter that I had encountered, which was the signed dildo nunchucks.
That's true. I mean, that was one of the best perks. So excellent choice, whoever did that. There's going to be some, for those of you, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't read the Shingles book, but is kind of...
Oh god, that was not good timing.
The whole point of Zombies Ate My Homework is kind of leads up to a battle with the undead, armed entirely with sex toys. So there are some dildo nunchucks. There are also some signed throwing dildos for $500 US. And they have yet to be claimed. There's 6 of those, and you don't just get the prop of them, which will be signed by Steve Wazinski. You get DVD copy of the movie, the signed postcards, the poster, a Blu-ray copy of the movie, a named thank you in the credits to go along with your signed dildo that you definitely shouldn't use as either a dildo or a weapon, because it is a movie prop. Alright. So we take no responsibility of what you choose to do with that. I think maybe the coolest perk is, and we've already sold 2 of them, so that's pretty cool. There's only 15 spaces, and it's pretty pricey, $750 US, but you'll probably see why. This is for the honor of appearing in the Shingles movie. You get to be a part of the movie as an extra with guaranteed screen time. It is dependent on you being able to reach a location near Pittsburgh. We can't narrow it down any more than that yet, and we can't narrow the time down exactly yet either. So it'll have to be, if you're not the sort of person who can drop everything for a couple of days with, only a few weeks notice, then maybe don't go for this. But if you do get it and choose to appear in the Shingles movie like a hero, you also get a DVD copy of the movie, 5 signed postcards, a Shingles movie poster that's signed by Steve Wazinski, your name in the credits, obviously, because you are in the movie, and we'll probably chuck in a Blu-ray copy of the movie there as well. Well, I forgot to put that in the text. And, those are the really interesting ones. There's another major prop one. We're going to use the awful puppet, wherever we get that for, and we use in the movie, will be signed and available at the Put Your Hand in His Ass tier, $12.50. Not only will you get that very central prop in the movie, fisted by our actor, I guess.
Oh god.
Now that I think about it, and fisted by professional puppet handlers as well, or amateur puppet handlers, if that's more your bag. And you'll also get a DVD copy of the movie, 5 signed postcards, Shingles movie poster, Blu-ray copy of the movie, and your name in the credits. And if you just kind of want to support this movie and give us a huge chunk of change because you've got it to spare and you want to make dreams happen, and you also want to put movie producer on your business card and IMDb page.
And mean it, I mean.
Yeah.
And not be called out as, wait a minute.
This just says movie guy and it's written in biro. Get out of here. No, yeah, producer credit. You can just have your name as a listed producer of the movie because you gave us $1,000, and you'll get a DVD copy of the movie, Blu-ray copy of the movie, 5 signed postcards, Shingles movie poster. But most of all, you'll get to say that you have produced or aided in the production of a movie. No one will be able to take that away from you. I imagine you'll just be able to kick down all the doors in Hollywood. Probably not that last one. Don't do that. They're very well protected people. And we've already sold one of them, so I guess somebody's already joined the producer club.
So I wanted to touch on this, but I was having a hard fight while you were in the bit where we were just sort of talking general discussion. Oh, okay, I can change my skulls like that. That's super easy. Nice. The amount we were asking for is absolutely considerable. Like, that is not a small amount. But it did blow my mind when we had the meeting and like got the tally that a movie for $60,000 seems crazy. Like, that's amazing to produce something.
Oh yeah.
You know, given what those things can run.
Yeah, I mean, people who listen to podcasts know that I'm a fan of movie making. It's kind of a passion of mine. I like indie produced stuff. I kind of read up on the background of it. That's what I do for fun. It's a bit sad, but yeah, 60,000 is a lot of money for your average Joe. But even for your average low budget movie, we're still very much in micro budget territory. And that's kind of why we teamed up with Steve Brzezinski. We know when we don't have millions lying around, and Steve Brzezinski is a man proven to get results on a micro budget. Not only does he know how to be funny, not only does he know how to build horror, he knows how to do it on budgets that most TV people would drop down the back of their sofa. So that's what's beautiful about this. If we, it's a big amount, but I know that every single cent of that $60,000 is going to be run into maximum good times. Just having talked to Steve and his crew, and then break it down what they want to do and how they want to do it. Yeah, I've always loved that indie verve.
Yeah, I'm just realizing that I had a dash ability that I did not know about. Because my controller froze up, so I had to button mash. Oh no!
Doesn't every platform I have a dash ability, surely?
Yeah, I kind of thought that, but I kept like going to my usual dash buttons and nothing was there. And I was like, alright, I guess this one doesn't have that. No!
Fair enough. So thanks, chat, and everybody tuning in for putting up with me breaking down the Shingles Indiegogo there. It's all on the Indiegogo page. It's a fun little page I put together. You can go check it out. Even if you don't fancy backing it, you can pop in and say hi.
It's definitely worth watching the Shingles trailer that Steve made.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was, and I think we have footage of us dropping that live at the convention, because Steve Brzezinski turned up to do a screening of Carousel. Not just that, he was running his table all weekend and engaging in games of the Carousel card game with people. A couple of live games of that, which I believe he sold out of immediately. But yeah, he did a screen of Carousel, and then after that, we dropped the bombshell with the trailer. And I think we've got some footage of that as it went live. And it's everything I dreamed it would be. People were excited.
Yeah, that was an amazing one to be part of.
Yeah, that was a heck of a moment.
And
Yeah,
you know,
con
it's a
full
big
of
swing.
excellent moments.
Hopefully we'll see how it goes, and ultimately all you can do is your best. Oh, and maybe dodge when the guy telegraphs a big one.
Oof. Did have a comment in the chat from Steve Arthur. Any tiers above 250 get invited to the digital premiere, or strictly limited to 250? The digital premiere, I did forget to say that. But thanks for pointing that out. That is its own thing. There's kind of an element of the exclusivity there, I guess, that we're trying to cultivate. But basically, what happens there in that perk? Let me bring up the exact text so I don't get this wrong. Digital premiere. Ooh, 4 of those claimed already. You get the digital copy of the movie, the DVD copy of the movie, 5 signed postcards, Shingles movie poster, your name in the credits and a thank you, and a digital premiere invite. And basically, what the digital premiere is going to be, before anyone else sees it, you will see it along with the Shingles authors and Steve Wazinski have an exclusive Q&A and hangout afterwards. So that's a pretty neat perk.
Oh, uh-oh. I
You
think
get
I'm gonna have to... Uh-oh! Good God!
You get a lot of the real world prizes there, and also your name mentioned in the credits. But you get to come to an exclusive event. Fancy.
Nope.
Yeah, the digital premiere won't be available to anyone who isn't specifically invited to it. It won't be something we use for content alone.
No, I think that question might have been that if someone contributes above the 250 tier.
No, they're thinking of the other funding platform, Kickstarter, where everything's available if you go above a tier. With Indiegogo, it's just specific tiers, and you get what's mentioned in the specific tier you go for.
Gotcha.
So
I'm
you want what's in
predominantly
the
familiar
digital-
with Kickstarter, so that's good to know.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I did not consider that when I was explaining that. I probably should have put that up top. Yeah, if you go to the digital premiere, you also get a lot of what you get on the other tiers as well.
Excellent. Oh, looks like we have a good one from Zachary Hertz. Will we add an audio description for those who are visually impaired? That seems like a very reasonable request.
Yes, absolutely. I believe, Zach, you've talked to us about this before. The only reason we don't do more specific ones for this for the YouTube is we simply do not have how to do it yet because we're useless. But, you know, it's not useless, Steve Wazinski. So we'll definitely be considering options for that to make it more accessible for people. Because why wouldn't we want it to be more accessible to people? We want as many people to enjoy this as possible, and if we can break down any barriers for them doing so, we will endeavour our very best to do so. Unless they're under 18, because, you know, don't show this Shingles movie to children. Or at least don't tell me about it if you do.
Oh, Shingles. It is the gift that keeps on giving.
We want as many people as possible to be able to enjoy it, but, you know, if you enjoy it, that's sort of your problem. I'm not being held responsible.
Punching! Alright.
I think we're also planning to do, although this hasn't been worked out yet, some voiceover commentary tracks and bonus extras on the DVD. So, you know, it won't just be the movie on the physical DVD. For those of you who are just going to get the digital pack, thinking that, you know, you're a millennial, you know how digital media works. There will be different extras available on the physical copy of the DVD. We haven't quite hashed out what those will be yet. We're definitely thinking a live kind of commentary from either the Shingles authors or the director, or perhaps both. And obviously, as this all becomes more of a reality, if the funding gets where it needs to be and we start securing more things we can definitely include, you guys will be the first to know.
Absolutely, we are 1,000% going to keep everyone in the loop as we go. But of course, expect to hear about it a lot, because if there's one thing we've learned through the course of doing this podcast, it's that you can never overestimate how hard it is, or how weirdly specific your reach can be, I guess would be the better way to put it.
Yeah. So if you hear us talking about this all the time, please be patient, because I guarantee there's somebody else out there who listens to the podcast all the time, who in about 6 months' time will go, what, they were trying to find a Shingles movie? And there'll be like hundreds of those people who listen to the podcast all the time and go, I did not know about the Shingles movie.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for how many years now, and I think I still probably about once a quarter will have someone be like, oh, you do a podcast? I've been following you forever, and I never knew about that. It's like, well, I'm going to put most of that on the algorithm.
Yeah. Every creator is constantly fighting a algorithm wired towards people who exploit algorithms. So, yeah, apologies if you get an earful of this in the coming 60 days. But I'm afraid it's what we have to do to get the product made.
I mean, I'll tell you, one way you could help us shut up about it earlier is if we fund early.
Yeah. You can get it funded tomorrow, I promise I will not mention it again. But in all seriousness, what you can do is, speaking of that algorithm and the fact that there will be people who really want to know about this who just simply will not know because the internet's a weird place, just tell people. Put the word of mouth out there. It is still the best kind of advertising. Like-minded people telling like-minded people where cool things are happening.
That is absolutely true. Nothing better than word of mouth. All right, well, I think that's probably going to do our time for the Skul, the Hero Destroyer. It's a pretty fun one. We didn't talk about the game very much, obviously. It was a con and shingles recovery episode, but I'm enjoying this. Kind of wish I was making a little more progress, but it's a slow burn.
I like how the classic fantasy hero sort of archetypes are the enemy that you must destroy with your child skeleton.
I mean, that's the full title of this one's Skul the Hero Slayer, so they certainly lived up to their name. I think I've got something picked out for next week as one more Steve rides along Brodeo.
Yeah, there's still a lot. That's, if I'm back in any country next week, I might just be living in an airport like Tom Hanks in that movie. The airport?
The
Tom
terminal.
Hanks in an airport? I don't know. It's a great movie, but I don't want to live the reality of it.
Depends on the airport terminal. I've been to some really nice ones. There's definitely times in my life where an airport terminal was nicer than my apartment.
That's true. I've also been to some really dull airport terminals.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in the Lubbock one. I flew out of it a lot, all the love in the world, but that would not be where I would take up residence.
Not where I choose to live, in an airport.
Awesome. All right, well, thank y'all so much for joining us, and we hope you check out the trailer. The link is, of course, in the description below. So take a gander and see, and hopefully we will have some good news to share next week on Adventure Brodeo. But either way, we will be back next time. Until then, bye!
Bye!